The year is 2022 and we've got a lot of DC films coming our way. Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. Let's go over all the DC films that are coming out in 2022. Now, just letting you know, this list does not include DC League of Super Pets, because, I want to, talk about only the live action. But in case you're wondering, that's coming out May 20th, 2022. Alright, let's start out at the beginning of the year. First is Peacemaker. Okay, yeah, that's not a film. I get it. But there may be a lot of connections between Peacemaker and other DC films. In this case, it may even feature a finale that could include or reference Amanda Waller and even the original Suicide Squad before the Suicide Squad. Meaning not only will it connect to James Gunn's own very The Suicide Squad, but could also connect it to David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Very interesting. Let's see what happens. Peacemaker starring John Cena as Peacemaker and Jennifer Holland as Amelia Harcourt. You're like, who? I know. But she's going to appear in several other DC films, apparently. The Peacemaker series comes out January 13th, only on HBO Max. Alright, the first major DC film coming out is The Batman. Matt Reeves is directing The Batman, with Robert Pattinson cast to don the cape and cowl. He plays a year 2 Batman, teaming up with Selina Kyle, Catwoman, played by Zoe Kravitz, and Jeffrey Wright as Lieutenant James Gordon. Inspired by such work as Batman Year 1, Long Halloween, maybe even Zero Year, there's quite a bit of villains in this. John Turturro plays crime lord Carmine Falcone, Paul Dano is the Riddler, Colin Farrell is the Penguin, and Barry Keoghan has a mystery role. Rumor has it he could be Joker, or he could just be young officer Stanley Merkel. Either way, there's a lot of surprises in store for this movie, and it promises to launch a new Batman trilogy. The Batman comes out on March 4th. Next up is the return to the DCEU, starting off with Black Adam. Black Adam, directed by Jaume Collet Serra, stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the titular character. Johnson's Black Adam is an anti-hero who was in prison for 5,000 years. Usually his arch nemesis would be Shazam, but in this movie he's going to fight the legendary Justice Society, comprised of Dr. Fate, played by Pierce Brosnan, Hawkman, played by Aldous Hodge, Cyclone, played by Quintessa Swindle, Adam Smasher, played by Noah Centineo. Sarah Shahi also comes in as Adriana Tomaz, rumored to include the Intergang with weapons from Apocalypse. Of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and the Garcias promises this will change DC films forever. Let's see if it lives up to the hype. And evidence from the first test screening of Black Adam, it looks like Jennifer Holland returns as Amelia Harcourt as one of the cameos that's going to be in Black Adam. And hopefully we'll finally find out if Superman, played by Henry Cavill, even shows up in Black Adam. As you know, that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson always seems to promise that one day he's going to fight Superman. Black Adam releases July 29th. The next big DCEU film coming out is The Flash. The Flash, directed by Anthony Muschietti, stars Ezra Miller, returning as Barry Allen, also known as The Flash. The film is based on the comic book crossover Flashpoint and will center on Miller's Barry Allen Flash as he is forced to travel back in time to prevent his mother's murder, an event that will have dire consequences to Allen's own timeline. Now, they said it's going to be an adaptation, so there's a lot of different changes in this movie. But the one thing that we do know is there are a ton of characters in this movie. Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton are returning as their versions of Batman. Sasha Calle is the DCEU's first Supergirl. Kiersey Clemons returns as Iris West. Maribel Verdú is Nora Allen. Ron Livingston is replacing Billy Crudup as Henry Allen. But what gets even crazier is all the other cameos that may appear in this movie. The entire Justice League may just be in this movie, including Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, hopefully Henry Cavill as Superman, though that hasn't been confirmed yet. But the Flash will be traveling through multiple DCEU films, including Man of Steel, because Michael Shannon and Ajay Trawa has been confirmed to return as General Zod and Faora. Now this one is making Snyder fans nervous because we're unsure if Andy Muschietti's Flash is truly going to erase that version of the DCEU or not. There's a lot riding on this movie. We're all waiting to find out what's going to happen in this movie and how it will affect the rest of the DCEU. The Flash comes out November 4th. And just 1 month after, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will come out. James Wan returns to direct Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Jason Momoa returns as Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman, along with Amber Heard as Mera. Patrick Wilson returns as Orm. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II returns as Black Manta, amongst other characters from the first Aquaman. The plot is, when an ancient power is unleashed, Aquaman must forge an uneasy alliance with an unlikely ally to protect Atlantis and the world from irreversible devastation. Judging from the trailers, it looks like he's going to team up with his own brother. Seeing that James Wan really wanted to add a lot more horror elements in the first movie, I'm guessing he's going to be able to do that for the second time around. Aquaman Lost Kingdom promises to be bigger, much more adventurous than the first movie. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom comes out December 16th. Now I put Batgirl on the list because we're kind of unsure if it's really coming out in 2022. They say it's coming out on HBO Max in 2022, but there is no actual date for it yet. But let's talk about it anyway. Batgirl, directed by Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah, stars Leslie Grace as the DCEU's first Batgirl, also known as Barbara Gordon. J.K. Simmons returns as Commissioner James Gordon. Brendan Fraser stars as Firefly. And the return of Michael Keaton as Batman. Although it's been said right now that Michael Keaton is only going to be Bruce Wayne and not Batman. Apparently, Batman is missing or has disappeared. Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne will serve as a mentor role for Batgirl, borrowing elements from Batman Beyond. And presently, scoopers are saying that Journey Smollett will return as Black Canary in the Batgirl movie. In fact, she helps out Barbara Gordon, which will lead to an eventual future Black Canary movie. This one also makes Snyder fans kind of nervous because we're unsure where Ben Affleck's Batman is. What do they mean by disappeared? Erased from the Flash movie? Or is he on another mission doing something else? And is Michael Keaton really going to be the DCEU's Batman going forward? Let's wait and find out sometime in 2022. So those are all the DC films that are coming out in 2022. It's such a big bucket of films coming out just in 1 year, and definitely will tell us where DC is heading from here on out. What about Zack Snyder's Justice League? Well, apparently to a bunch of scoopers, nothing will happen, if at all, until the Discovery merger is complete mid-2022. Like I always say, we'll have to wait and see. So what do you guys think? Which one of these DC films excites you the most? Let me know down in the comments down below.